of Product at DeskAlerts. And today we will be discussing the topic of enhancing the remote field workers' engagement through the products like ours, like DeskAlerts. So I will go over the topic of the phenomena of the remote field workers and the challenge. I will talk a little bit about DeskAlerts. Then what we're going to do is like look at some ways to engage remote field workers and some cases, and that will be the main flow of the presentation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them into the chat. I'll try to be a little bit more efficient this time. This is the second presentation in the second day, and we'll see how it will go. Okay, so what are the current trends in the remote field workers world? What we actually observing is the growing global multicultural workforce that does not necessarily have enterprise accounts, so they don't have emails, they don't have company cell phones. At the same time, they do have smartphones in their pockets, like majority of them. Majority of them are more or less familiar with the modern real-time communication platforms, like WhatsApp, for example, or Telegram. And so what challenges are we essentially? What challenges are these people facing at the moment? So they often feel isolated and disconnected because some of them they just essentially maybe see the faces of the coworkers for days or weeks. There are also there is a lack of real-time communication because they kind of not present in the geographically where majority of the personnel is located. So there is no way to have a friendly chat, or to bring them together so you can tell them things and inform them about the changes in the company, or best practices and so on and so forth. There are also cultural and linguistic barriers, especially if we look at regions that have traditionally a tendency to bring workers en masse from into their countries to boost the fast economic development. And I'm talking about Saudi, I'm talking about Qatar, I'm talking about United Arab Emirates. So there is a mix of people working in the fields, and they not necessarily speak one single language, and that language is and then they don't speak English either. So the idea essentially is that this sort of challenges, they can be solved by employing the products like ours, like DeskAlerts, because it will improve essentially that communications, safety, and operational efficiency of such groups of workers. And so how? Because you can communicate with them instantly. You can essentially share with them safety protocols and alerts. You can also utilize sort of geofencing for precision. So this way you can target the specific audience for let's say safety alert. You can overcome language barriers, and we will talk more about it in a minute. You can improve your feedback and overall continuous implement a continuous process improvement process. And then you can actually reach a high operational efficiency. So what is DeskAlerts? Like DeskAlerts in its childhood evolved as the internal communication software that delivered critical notifications or alerts directly to employees like desktops and cell phones, bypassing email and efficiency. Um, these alerts they developed to be they designed to be highly intrusive to bring the attention of the employees, right? And the product also was designed in such a way that the engagement metrics for these alerts was they were tracked essentially, like how many were sent, to whom, how many people view them, read them, like confirm the receiving, and so on. So, respectively, what essentially makes desk alerts a really good choice for engaging remote workers? Um, first of all, this is a real-time communication or near real-time, I would say, and you can essentially see again in the real time how the audience responds to your alerts. It doesn't really matter essentially what hardware, like what kind of operating system and hardware the audience is using. We're kind of platform agnostic, and so we have essentially client software that works for like on most popular like hardware platforms like Mac and Android, and also operating systems. Like iOS and Android, and also operating systems like Windows and Mac OS. Um, the other benefit is like employees can provide like immediate feedback, right? So there is like a two-way communication theme in play, and as I mentioned already, like uh, as you essentially go through the life cycle of this message, you can, as a publisher, you can see in real time who has seen who interacted essentially and with your messages, and of course the statistics for the audience. Okay, so now let's take a look at some specific scenarios and like where this sort of engagements with the remote field workers can be improved or strengthened. And the first scenario is the company-wide messages from the president. So imagine like a new president comes on board. So he sets the goal of essentially bringing everyone like in the company together, set the common goal and the direction for the corporate ship. And so so for him, for such persona, like the DeskAlerts would be an ideal choice because he can reach pretty much like every employee and contractor in the organization, and especially and if, again there are no barriers in this case when it comes to the whether you're remote or you're working essentially in the office. So the messages will be delivered in like simultaneously, and that will essentially ensure that the same message is sent to everyone, and there is no like information distortion. And the other thing, and the other benefit, of course, is the consistency, right? So because your everyone is getting the same message across the organizational hierarchy, so the people that will eliminate the misinterpretation that often happens in when you essentially send such communication using the corporate the company organizational structure like top down. Um, yeah, that's already mentioned about the audience like span. Okay, next one is overcoming language barriers. As I mentioned already, the workforce these days is quite diverse in terms of the culture and the language, and so it is very important as a result to kind of make these people feel like included, right, and overcome like linguistic barriers, and also like if so, the issue essentially is like miscommunication, misunderstanding can happen when the people are not fluent in corporate like lingua franca. And I actually have like my own personal experience when I had like a big like development teams in Central America, and my developers they didn't speak like English fluently, so there was a language barrier, and so I witnessed it like first, like myself experienced it. Yeah. So what's the gist here? The next, sorry, is like what's the gist here is that the we can essentially send the communication from DeskAlerts, utilizing the like the feature where the receiving party can either get the message translated like automatically, right? Or probably a more preferable option is to essentially send this message like proofread. So that means like when you're sending such message via DeskAlerts, the publisher has a capability to choose multiple different like languages and essentially adjust and craft the message using those specific languages and on one single page. So it's more like you can think about it as some sort of like a campaign, right? And so these messages they will be proofread, and so they will the target audience that ensures that the target audience is not gonna get lost in the if let's say the Google Translate doesn't do the job well when it comes to automatic translation. Okay. Next one is a really interesting example. It's the issue of actually getting collecting information from the field work remote field workforce, and the theme here is the problem management, right? So situations, then you have like company or countrywide like outages. So what happened in the past in many instances was that people encountered a problem, and they thought that the problem essentially was only impacting them, right? So as a result, they didn't realize that the problem was like a company or like even like countrywide. So there was as a result there was lots of confusion. There was like lots of misunderstanding. People were trying to solve the like wrong issues, right? And one situation would be imagine that's actually was a real case. The situation with the payment gateways, the card payment gateways that failed in one specific country. So imagine the gas station somewhere like in the middle of the desert, and they suddenly they cannot accept cards, right? And they think like something wrong with the like card card terminals, or like there is an issue on the side of the companies that supply them with the card terminals, right? And the customers who are like very angry and they cannot explain them like what's going on, right? And it impacts all of them. So in this case, like each gas station was assuming that they like that issue was isolated to them only, and as a result, they like lost lots of time before they actually figured that the problem was actually countrywide. So what could happen in this case, like in a different how they could handle this situation differently, would be to when they spot any kind of abnormalities with the service, just have like a standard operational procedure to report them, like using the DeskAlerts client, right? Just literally send like a simple note saying, okay, the car terminal is not working, right? And so or some other report some other issues. You know, the payments are very slow, right? Or the truck the gas truck didn't arrive on time, and so what will happen in this case is like these issues will be spotted like earlier, and they will share the observations. These observations then will come to one sort of like central like collection point, and the idea essentially is, give me one second. The idea is that they will we will process this incoming messages on our side. We will parse and aggregate them, and then we will graphically present them to, let's say, the operational personnel, so they can actually see in real time what is happening in the fields, right? And if they see that the specific bubble is growing, right, on a graph, and that bubble is, let's say, the issue with the payment terminals, they can quickly essentially assess the situation, right, in a better way, because they have that helicopter view, and then uh, do the quick gathering, like further essential investigation, and then actually send the message, the alert company wide, saying, hey, we have actually this sort of problem. It impacts everyone. So, and these are the instructions. This is what you need to do, which will essentially mitigate the impact of this sort of issues. Okay, something is not okay. I'm jumping back now. It's I apologize. Okay, next one. Sorry, my PC is a little bit slow here. Okay, so the other thing that the other way that the product can be used is by facilitating effective training programs. So because you can add like the training schedules for groups of employees, and then like they will be receiving like reminders that they need to take essentially specific training. You can also essentially give them ability to then provide the feedback on the training that they passed. There is a you can actually like even create like quizzes and like polls. So quizzes to check their knowledge, right? And then get the statistics about the how effective is the training. Maintenance, like the same thing. The maintenance schedule can be essentially added in the form of the scheduled alerts, right? And that can be like pretty much like a representation of the maintenance plan, and so people can get those like notification in real time that they are about the tasks that they need to perform, and so that will ensure that they actually do receive this communication as opposed to sending it by email. And as I mentioned before, like they might not even have an email in the first place. Okay, next one is the just give me one second. Is the some accolades to the product. So I'm kind of done with the use cases section. The What is important essentially is to be able to handle essential scenarios of various types of audiences, from starting from small teams or small companies to like very big ones, right? Like large organizations, geographically distributed, right? And so the when you have like a scalable alert system, you can essentially cover a very small and a very big audience, like or set of audiences, in a very efficient way. That's the definite like benefit in my personal view. And the beauty of the product is like it has the horizontal scalability embedded into it, and also the capabilities to separate like duties between like regions, like who essentially defining who is managing communication channels, like in which region. There is we do have like analytics and reporting that built to read the response rates, response times, the feedback that we're receiving from the fields. So this way you can essentially see either in real time or post essential incident what how the alert is and was behaving in terms of the engagement rates and response rates. Yeah, and of course, the product provides capability to analyze this metrics, and also have essentially uh, some improvements in place for when it comes to choosing like the right communication channels. So you'll have a flexibility next time you're sending the message, which channel to use, and what type of alert to use essentially for a specific type of communications to achieve the required essentially engagement metrics, and what content, of course. And so to conclude, I would like to circle back to the phenomena of the remote field workers. So the importance of engagement is huge, especially in the world of the people who work in like isolated like places. So addressing these the challenges will not only make the company like financial numbers better, but they will keep these people sane, and connected. Um, the Also it will increase like the efficiency of the processes and effectiveness of the internal processes, because people will be able to remote workers will be able to send their feedback. And the last piece is that this the landscape is evolving, like so essentially the company, I mean, like the company is always facing like external changes. So being able to kind of look at the engagement data, at the feedback, they can measure the what's going on with the workforce, and they can essentially equip themselves, like management can equip themselves better when it comes to handling the challenges and adapting to changes. And that's conclude my presentation. Thank you so much for essentially being a part of the presentation today. You will find like my partner Natalia contacts on this page. And so if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. Thank you so much. That's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Anatoly. Thank you very much for your time. So, Anatoly, are you going to join the panel discussion or not?
What time is a panel discussion?
That's starting in 25 minutes.
Oh, I have like a weekly meeting with sales.
Okay, no,
So
that's
I
fine.
will, yeah, I will probably join, but I will have to drop it, right? Because like, one of the, how to say, one of the challenges working with a very motivated sales organization is that you really need to keep them close to you. In other
Yeah,
case, they will.
no, that's fine. But thank you very much for your contribution over the last few days, and we hope we will can host you guys again in the future.
Yeah, so you know what, Cobus? I think that was a great experience for me personally, and a very good opportunity for the company. Now I understand the format of the event much better, so we will come essentially much better prepared next time in terms of, because now we know like the audience, we know who are the participants, so we kind of reshape our presentation, like the content quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay, no, but thank you very much, and I hope we chat soon again.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
All right.